Ladies and gentlemen, there are two criminal cases in New York that are essentially done. And media is not really talking about this because they don't want to admit they had nothing on Trump to begin with. So they have nothing on Trump. They can't find a crime that he committed. They can't indict him. They can't prosecute him. They can't charge him with a crime. Yesterday, Andrew Gillum was charged with 21 indictments. Okay? Before that, you had Michael Madigan in Illinois, another Democrat. Before that, or after that, you had Brian Benjamin, the lieutenant governor of New York. So you have Democrats getting indicted left and right. And they're doing so for fundraising crimes, crimes associated with utilizing their political influence to obtain money through criminal activity, criminal business activity, basically. They're using political influence to enrich themselves, okay, which is what Democrats have done since Tammany Hall. Republicans do it too, but it's a finely tuned machine that started in Tammany Hall and is continuing today. So, Michael Madigan, Brian Benjamin, Andrew Gillum, Hunter, Bill and Hillary. This is not rocket science, okay? And you have emails with Hunter saying, how can you, this is a request of Hunter, the son of the vice president and future president. How can you use your influence on the company's behalf? And a prosecutor is then forced out, okay? So you put two and two together because Democrats, media say, well, of course, there was nothing wrong with that. That prosecutor was corrupt. Yeah, but you didn't know that there were emails like that, did you? When people were saying, when they were impeaching Trump and all the fact-check organizations and the Pinocchios on the Washington Post were claiming that, there's no evidence, completely baseless. When they say it's baseless allegations leveled by Trump against his direct political rivals. They didn't know that Hunter's emails would show clear pay-to-play schemes with the actual request, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf? And according to Rudy Giuliani, a prosecutor that was going to investigate or, go against the company paying Hunter, was forced out by by none other than Joe, the vice president at the time. So the first impeachment, we didn't know that the federal government was investigating Hunter's taxes, shady business deals, and emails that he had that showed clear pay-to-play schemes. Okay, then you have Hunter saying, 10%, he gives 10% to his father. So, I mean, these are like, imagine if Trump had any of these types of things. Like, you have to understand, like, the reason, hopefully, you watch this channel, hit subscribe to this channel and the Stock Market Crash channel. I have a segment right now on the Stock Market Crash channel, so please watch. I'm going to do a segment right after this or before this. Every time you see, a video on H.A. Goodman, just check the Stock Market Crash channel. I'm going to grow that channel, and I've been taking a couple of days off, and I only do one segment sometimes. I will do a corresponding segment every single time I do a segment on H.A. Goodman. Go to the Stock Market Crash channel, and then go to the Bitcoin crash to 10,000 or lower. Okay, I'll try to do a segment every day on that channel, but definitely the Stock Market Crash channel. So hit subscribe to all three. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below. I called everything that's taking place. Get ready for $6 gas prices and on average in the summer. Okay, I said in September of 2021, we're heading into a devastating stock market crash and economic decline. And you could see the videos that I did in September of 2021 on this channel and on the Stock Market Crash channel in the description section and also in the pinned comments. So subscribe to all three channels. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below. If you want to give a super thanks, it's right there. I might have a live stream sometime today or tomorrow. So stay tuned. I might have a live stream. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to read you. Donald Trump likely no longer in contempt, New York Attorney General says. New York Attorney General Letitia James to agree to the lifting of Donald Trump's contempt of court order. Okay, the reason is because they have hundreds of thousands of documents. They have his tax returns. New York State has his tax returns. Okay, the prosecutors literally have the man's tax returns. They are investigating two criminal cases. One is his tax returns and Trump Organization. The other one is inflating his net worth and deceiving or trying to dupe Deutsche Bank and other banks. Okay? That is done. So likelihood of Trump indictment in Manhattan fades as grand jury wraps up. The big issue there is that they would have to actually get other billionaires in New York, and they would have to actually, the prosecutors would actually have to interview, perhaps put other billionaires or other people who understand real estate on the witness stand, which would then throw perhaps other billionaires under the bus. See, you can't accuse Trump of elevating his net worth or inflating his real estate holdings in the most expensive, in the literally the most expensive city on the planet, or one of the most, Tokyo, New York. There's a couple other cities that are the most expensive cities on the planet. So you can't go ahead and just accuse Trump of that, because you're going to then have to compare his holdings and his real estate properties to the real estate properties of other real estate moguls. Okay, so that was never really going to work out. Okay, the only thing that could possibly have worked out for Democrats in New York, and this is all partisan, like, where are they investigated for a second the Clinton Foundation, which is like full of, because they had emails too. Remember the Clinton Foundation emails along with the DNC emails, which of course were the work of the Kremlin? Of course. I mean, you have to be a complete imbecile to believe the nonsense. And any time there's corruption within the Democratic Party, it's another country that wants you to know. I mean, you have to be, like, you have very intelligent people who believe that Trump lied more than any other president. Go to CNN, you could type in Trump's biggest lies. There's a CNN article, and it has like 15 or so lies. Nothing compared to Hunter or Joe meeting Hunter's business associates. There's nothing as damaging to national security as the Vice President of the United States of America meeting with Hunter's business associates after we found out that there are emails, hundreds and hundreds of emails showing clear violations of the law, where it's, oh, how can you use your influence? I give 10% to the big man, which of course is Joe, and it's a racket that they're running. They're using their family name to give access to the United States government to other foreign entities, businesses, billionaires, whatever. And there's beneficial treatment that takes place, and then there's emails corresponding to that beneficial treatment. Same with the foundation. 20% of U.S. uranium capacity President Obama did not veto the sale of, that eventually was owned by you-know-who, the Kremlin. And so, and then money just coincidentally flowed into the foundation. So you have to be, if in the minds of morally superior liberal Democrats, it's all coincidence. Don't you understand? It's all coincidence. It is all coincidence. People just give money. They just give money to Hunter and Joe and Bill and Hillary and everybody. And by the way, I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. I would love that. I don't think Hillary will have a tough time surpassing Joe. Either in the Tour de France or in their primary that, it's preordained. The primary is just, a theatrical performance. Okay. Even last year, this is hilarious. Like, nobody realized, people were dropping out right before Super Tuesday and right after Super Tuesday. Interesting. Anyway, so you're not going to have those two criminal cases, and according to Newt Gingrich and others, GOP could pick up a historic 70 seats in the House, and they'll win the Senate. So, and unfortunately, the economy will continue to tank up to November. So Democrats are going to get, it'll be basically a political annihilation Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. New York has pretty much ended the two probes that, I mean, they were the best chance of indicting Trump. Now, they could indict Trump. They could indict Trump. Just Merrick Garland could indict Trump just because they want to find some way to derail his candidacy. It won't work out for them, no matter what they do. Okay, there's nothing that he did wrong in terms of a crime, and we know this because they couldn't indict him, and it's not because they didn't try to. See, with Madam Secretary, Comey went to bat. It's not difficult. Anyway, hit subscribe. It's not difficult to understand. Hit subscribe to this channel. Go to the Stock Market Crash channel right now.